5 years ago, I was sitting behind the wheel of my truck trying to figure out how to make it as an owner operator. Today, I run one of the largest trucking communities online with over 50,000 members, and I've discovered something that's completely changing how carriers find and keep quality drivers. Now, my journey from rookie driver to community leader taught me something crucial. The traditional way of recruiting drivers is definitely broken. And I learned this firsthand, not just from my own experience, but from thousands of conversations with drivers in our community. And when I first started our Facebook group, Fleet Connect, in 2021, I thought we'd be mostly sharing road stories and advice. Instead, we uncovered a pattern that was costing carriers millions in turnover and frustrating quality drivers everywhere. So, what I'm about to share with you isn't theory or consultant speak. This is real world insight from building a fleet community from scratch, growing a 50,000 member driver community and helping carriers transform their recruitment approach. So in fact, using this exact system, one of our partner carriers reduced their recruitment costs by 42% while improving driver quality scores by 35%. But before I show you how this works, I need to warn you, if you're looking for another quick fix or signing bonus strategy, this most likely isn't for you. What I'm about to share is a complete reimagination of driver recruitment that's working even in today's challenging market. Now you might be thinking, the big idea here with Fleet Connect is while the freight market faces temporary challenges for some, this creates an unprecedented opportunity to upgrade your driver fleet quality while other carriers reduce recruitment efforts. History show that companies who invest strategically during market downturns emerge significantly stronger when conditions improve. Professional drivers and owner operators with strong safety records and consistent performance are currently employed and generating revenue are already kind of doing well. They require a sophisticated, respect-based approach that acknowledges their professionalism. Our data shows that 82% of drivers who switched companies in the last 24 months were employed at the time of transition. So some of the old methods, which we refer to as the desperation model, when carriers post traditional job ads, they create several self-defeating conditions. First, they position themselves as just another company seeking to fill seats. Second, they attract primary active job seekers who research shows are more likely to be between jobs or having issues with their current employer. And then third, they enter a bidding war based on primarily cents per mile, rate per mile, sign-on bonuses, creating a race to the bottom that kind of hurts both the carriers, fleet owners, and drivers, right? So the old methods, traditional recruitment methods, treat driving positions like commodity jobs, broadcasting availability through mass channels like job boards, classified ads. This approach fundamentally misunderstands both driver psychology and market dynamics. When carriers post traditional job ads, they create several self-defeating conditions. First, they position themselves as just another company seeking to fill seats. Second, they attract primarily active job seekers. But the outdated job boards, they attract primarily unemployed and are frequently switching drivers. They put you in direct price competition with other carriers. They create a negative ROI cycle where higher recruitment costs force lower driver pay, and we have documented evidence showing how this cycle typically costs carriers an additional 12 to 15,000 per driver annually in just turnover related expenses. Another thing is that when you're doing ads, they'll typically always look the same, right? They're showing trucks, and drivers are typically on social media a lot of times. They are pretty much, they're sitting in a truck, right? We got to think about where they actually are when they are seeing, jobs and opportunities and how they actually feel about those, right? So if you ever see, ads on Facebook or social media, they typically all look the same. They all have the same blueprint, the same structure, and pretty much subconsciously, drivers can kind of tune that out, right? They've seen a lot of them, and they typically attract the ones that are like we kind of just went over, already kind of in between jobs or just having current issues, right? So the right driver principle, instead of broadcasting the active job seekers, this model kind of focuses on currently employed successful drivers who aren't actively looking for changes. These drivers share several key characteristics: strong safety records, professional pride, stable employment history, positive relationships with customers, professional approach to their career. The key insight is that these drivers aren't unemployed or desperately seeking change. They're successful professionals who might be open to better opportunities if approached correctly. And then we go into the right message framework, right? The messaging strategy completely reimagines how we communicate with drivers. So instead of leading with job details, we create what's called a value first narrative that typically unfolds across multiple touch points. There's the first touch, which is industry insight. We share relevant information about market trends, technology changes, regulatory updates that affect professional drivers. This positions us as a knowledgeable industry partner rather than just a recruiter. Second touch is the career development. We introduce ideas about professional growth, advanced training opportunities, or ways just to kind of increase earning potential while maintaining work-life balance. This speaks to the driver's professional aspirations. Third touch is company culture. We tell stories about real drivers in the company, highlighting unique aspects of the operation, how it supports driver success. This helps potential candidates envision themselves in the organization. And then the fourth touch is specific opportunities. Only after establishing value and credibility do we introduce specific positions or opportunity framed in terms of career advancement rather than just another job or opportunity. Then we move into the right platform strategy. So the model recognizes that quality drivers consume content differently than active job seekers. So instead of job boards, we focus on platforms where professional drivers naturally spend time. Industry news sites and forums, professional development resources, lifestyle content aligned with driver interests, social media platforms during natural break times. Most importantly, we deliver content when drivers are most receptive, right? During their breaks, layovers, or off-duty hours, when they're catching up on industry news or professional development. And then you also want the right timing mechanism. So this is perhaps the most sophisticated aspect of the model. Instead of expecting immediate application, we create what's called a progressive engagement funnel. So the initial awareness, the driver becomes aware of the company through valuable content rather than job ads. Professional engagement, they begin to see the company as an industry knowledge source and career development partner. Value recognition through multiple touches, they develop an understanding of what makes the company unique. Career consideration only after multiple positive interactions do they begin to consider career opportunities. And then active interest, when they do engage with recruitment content, they're already familiar with the company's value proposition. So the disruptive message elements. The messaging strategy operates on several key principles, right? You want to have professional respect. Every communication acknowledges the driver's status as a skilled professional rather than just a job seeker. This means using industry-specific language correctly, acknowledging their expertise and experience, focusing on career development over job placement, treating safety records and professional achievements as valuable assets. Then we move into value first communication, which instead of leading with what the company needs, which is drivers or owner operators, we lead with what we can offer to their career development. And then we have what we call the disruptive message element. So this is an authentic differentiation. Rather than competing on pay rates alone, we help companies communicate their unique advantages through concrete examples. Specific operational differences that benefit drivers, real story from current drivers, detailed explanations of unique routes for customers, tangible examples of company culture and action, progressive engagement. The communication strategy recognizes that quality drivers make career decisions, and we support this through multiple touch points with valuable content, gradual building of company knowledge, no pressure to make immediate decisions, clear paths to learn more at their pace. So implementation of this framework, to successfully execute this model, companies need to identify their true differentiators. So they want to start to look beyond basic compensation to find authentic competitive advantages that matter to quality drivers. They want to create content ecosystems, develop multiple forms of valuable content that can be shared across various platforms and touch points. Then you want to build engagement pathways, create clear ways for interested drivers to learn more without committing to the application. You also want to track and optimize, monitor engagement at each stage, and continuously refine messaging and targeting. So the ultimate goal is to transform driver recruitment from a transactional process into a professional relationship building system that attracts the right drivers, for long-term success. So if you stuck with me to this part of the video, I appreciate it. I definitely congratulate your awareness. I really, just being able to hold your attention and you just giving me your attention is super valuable for me. So I'm hoping that this over delivers for you and completely just changes the way that you think about attracting drivers and owner operators moving forward. But let's move into the driver ladder. So understanding market dynamics to quickly identify leads in any market and audience and be able to convert them into drivers by making the right offer at the right time. So first thing is illumination. We're going to jump into education, loaded, and transformed. So illumination is, they're in a pain, they're problem opportunity aware. And this is where you can offer a short video, specific lists, books, mini trainings, right? Get them illuminated, right? And then you step into education, which is more problem aware, solution aware. They know that they have a problem, but they don't know what to kind of do to solve it, right? So you can offer a workshop, a masterclass. You can offer news, industry insights, potentially a webinar, teaching them something that they don't really know anything about, right? Helping them to transform their educational process. And then we go into loaded, which is they are solution aware at this point, and they desire a change. They desire results. And this can come in the form of an offer, a service, lease on opportunities, and then transformed. And this is where they're actually committed to long term. They're becoming an active stakeholder, they're becoming an active stakeholder. They're buying into the company's vision and mission, and they're beginning to advance into new opportunities, new roles. They can kind of see the transformation taking place. A big thing, I believe, came from John Maxwell's leadership is training is something that we do. It's not really something that we did, right? So I feel like that's a big part of company culture is continuously training and educating drivers, especially when it comes to retention, building that culture. Is that a part of the unique, value proposition? Is it, detention? Is it trailer type? Is it equipment type? So all of these things make a difference in communicating the transformation that you want to take your drivers through. And this is just an example of the fleet connector system, right? So as you can see here, illuminated, so problem and opportunity aware. And this is just an example of us using our process to identify a owner operator who's potentially coming from pulling a 55-ton detached trailer. So we let them know going into our fleet connector system. They're now educated about who we are, problem aware, but solution unaware. And then loaded, right? So solution aware and desire results. So at this point, we're able to get the credentials that we need to kind of move forward with the onboarding process. And this is typically how our process works. And if you need any more information on this, I hope this was valuable. I hope it kind of gave you some insights on what you can do different. If you'd like some more information on the fleet connector system, it can definitely help you, onboard new drivers, new owner operators. If you're a fleet owner, if you're a fleet manager, or just a trucking company looking to grow and expand this year. Again, my name is Kalei Poteet. I hope to see you inside the Fleet Connect Facebook group. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If there's any resources we can send you, we definitely have a ton. And thanks for watching.